What's up, everybody? Melkandor here, and I'm putting together my review of Anthem right now. And this is the game, this is the gameplay, so you're actually looking at me as I narrate this. I'm recording this in OBS. Um, and this is what the gameplay looks like. So, nothing re-recorded here. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. I've had a chance to play this game for a couple of hours already, more than a couple of hours. I've been playing it since it released on Origin Prime Access, which I will say is the best way to play this game if you're interested in it. I'm recording this on Tuesday, February 19th, to let you all know that I know this game does release in its physical copy format or its permanent download format, as in not as in the live service version, on Friday. And I really want to say that I don't think there's enough here to justify the price tag for the multiple editions that are available for this game. The combat, while satisfying, and it is unique, it is not like Warframe, it is not like Destiny. It is its own game. It stands alone as its own game. The only thing it shares is a common lineage going back to Borderlands, and that it is a looter. But aside from that, it again, like I want to stress this enough, that it is its own unique game. Now you have a bunch of different weapons that you can choose from. You have four different types of four different types of javelins for now that you can choose from. But here is a perfect example of what I have come to expect from this game, which is we're supposed to be doing a mission together. The mission hasn't linked up, hasn't launched yet, isn't launching. And, now I'm getting a message 5 minutes in since I've been in here to finally teleport me to potentially the mission area. We'll get a loading screen. Hopefully it'll go fast. But there's a lot of issues that still need to be ironed out. This game still feels like it should take a few more weeks in development before being released. But they do promise a day one patch, which I will just say is kind of BS, because the day one patch should have been put out last week when they released it on Origin Prime Access. But since they're going with the release date, if you will, if you can make that out from the EA convoluted graph of how many different release dates, I think there's like 4 for Origin Prime Access, Origin Access, the Collector's Edition, or the Standard Edition. I think there are 4 different dates that you can use. So, yeah. But before you spend money on this game, I really want to caution you to consider canceling your pre-order, saving your money, paying the $15, and seeing if the game is worth your money. I would recommend doing that, because even if you don't like the game, if you wind up not liking the game, you still have access to all the other games, which are quite a few, available on EA's library on Origin Access. That being said, I can tell you a few things. Now, I'm going to tell you some positive things. The game feels fine, control-wise. Like, the controls are really good, and if you want really smooth, like it's a smooth controller. Don't mind my flying, it's just me having to get used to flying in a game like this. The combat is very satisfying. It does rely more on your supers, so don't be too underwhelmed with the performance of your guns, at least in the beginning. They will feel very underwhelming at times, but as you get better weapons, that also compensates for that, as well as your supers, your special moves. Basically, they make everything okay. They make things. This is what you're supposed to kind of use, and each javelin has its own unique set of skills and abilities that come with it. So, that's one of the things I really want to say about the game. Aside from that, I'm going to show you Fort Tarsis real quick. That is the hub of where most of your quests will take place. So, and this is again an example of I'm holding F to exit the expedition, and it's just not doing that. So this is where we get to. There are a number of problems in this game that still have to go on, but Fort Tarsis is basically the only first-person look, view that you get. It is nice area. It does feel like BioWare. They do have some really well designed character NPCs in there. The story is told from there. It is a pretty interesting story. There's a lot of interesting characters that you meet. In my opinion, I enjoyed that part a lot. However, it's not nearly as fleshed out enough. There's not enough connection there to really get you going. There are a few character interactions that do make a difference in the course of the game, and that much is definitely true, and it definitely pays out on that front. But if you're a die-hard BioWare fan, I don't know that it's going to satisfy you. Overall, like I said, do I think you should buy it right out the get-go? No. There's not enough here, and I mean, at most there's between 10 and 20 hours, depending upon if you play through all the side missions, and there is a bit of a grind to get to from one level to the next or from one mission to the next. There's some, hey, go here, pick up this, bring it back to me, kill this amount of enemies, come back, bring it back, kind of things that you have to get through. So overall, it is a little bit grindy. After that, the end game is fairly light. But that's really it. There just doesn't feel like there's enough to justify the price right now for it. As far as it goes with the microtransactions, the thing about that is there's nothing in there that's really like, oh my god, I have to buy it. They're all skins. So it's up to you if you want to, take part of that. I don't particularly feel that the microtransactions were spectacular. I do think that seeing as how we see $8 for just an epic skin and there were 2 levels above that, Masterwork and Legendary, I have a concern that they might be priced kind of high unless they max out at something like $12. But even that is, borders on the a little bit too high for a skin, but we'll see what that winds up being. Overall, it is a fun game, and if you are into the looter shooter and are willing to stick it out, then, that's one thing. But if it's something that you're considering that you pre-ordered because of all the hype around it, or, you just because you're a BioWare fan, I would say potentially save your money. On the better part, I have to say, as a consumer advocate, save your money. If you really want to try it out, pay for Origin Access, either and $15 and having access to a bunch of different games versus buying one game and then being stuck with something that you might not like. It's almost a no-brainer to me. I would say pay the $15, check it out, see if you like it. If this review helped you, then that's great. It is something that I feel is necessary to do because I want the people that are coming to this channel, that are coming to my Twitch stream, to be as informed as I can, and I want to give you the most honest opinion of the game. I have been liking it. I will probably be streaming it here and there, but it is not a game that I also feel bad logging off from. It's not like I feel compelled to come back and play it. But there's just not a lot here right now, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer before I make a final decision. Now, if they release something that's absolutely spectacular and it comes out and the game has so much more added into it, everything is awesome, things in the microtransaction side are pretty good, and they wind up not being as expensive as I think they might get to, then awesome, great. But I would still wait and see. It's not one of those that would say you have to go out on day one to buy it. So that being said, that's all I really have for now. This has been Melkondor, and if you enjoy this video, well, you know what to do. I'm not going to pitch things one way or the other. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Mel out.